All right, welcome back, Victor and Ali.
Hi again,
Hi
teacher.
again.
How have you been?
I've been great. I had a minute break to use the restroom, get some water. Great things. And I'm guessing we'll probably have maybe all the same students. We will have a full class again, which is wonderful. So we'll wait just a moment for people to arrive. Anyone having a fantastic Saturday? Anything anyone wants to share or talk about while we wait for just a moment?
I want to ask you.
Yeah.
How is the weather like there?
It's cold, but not very cold. It's about 33 degrees Fahrenheit here, which I don't know what that is in Celsius.
I don't know.
I think it's like 1 or 2. I can look it up really quick. I need to get better at Fahrenheit to Celsius, but it's a challenging conversion. So yeah, so 33 or 34 degrees Fahrenheit is about 1 degree Celsius.
Okay. Not so cold.
No, for me that's not very cold. Where I'm from, it often gets to like negative 30 Fahrenheit, which is negative 34 Celsius.
Do we have a lot of snow?
Here in the Czech Republic, we don't have any right now. It snowed on Tuesday, and it was beautiful, and it lasted about a day and a half. And then all day on Thursday, it rained and melted all the snow. So, no snow.
Which city do you live?
I live in Karlovy Vary, which is 2 hours outside of Prague, in the west, towards Germany.
Oh, is it a big city or town?
It's small. It's a town. It's about 60,000 to 80,000 people. So pretty small, but it is a tourist town. There are some natural springs in the area, so it's pretty popular, especially with Russian tourists and Czech tourists, of course. So though it's small, it's very beautiful. It's kind of in a valley with mountains all around.
Do they make beer there?
Not in Karlovy Vary itself. We're very close to Pilsen, where Pilsner Urquell is made.
Mm-hmm.
But the typical beverage they make here is called Becherovka. It's like a herbal liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, it's
how
not my
long
favorite.
have you been living in Czech Republic?
Since September, so over 4 months now.
Wow, it's not so long.
It's going very quickly, though. I will only be here until June.
Do you
And of course,
understand Czech language?
no, unfortunately, there aren't any classes for me to take here,
Do
and
many of them speak English?
enough to get by. I can order at a restaurant, and then if I need help with something, my boss at my job is able to come and help me translate. But I've gotten by okay, although moving here, it was one of my big goals to learn at least a little bit of Czech. And now halfway through, I still can barely speak simple sentences. But it's challenging without classes.
Yeah. You understand our pain.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yes, absolutely. which it's a really good experience for me as an English teacher to understand what it's like. I experienced it learning Spanish 10 years ago, living in a Spanish-speaking country with the same kind of situation, but then I had classes. I was studying at the university, so taking 4 hours of Spanish classes every day, I was able to speak within 2 months. So this is very different, having no classes and no Czech teacher, and trying to teach myself.
10 years younger, right?
Yes, yes. Also, it's also easier to learn a language when you're younger. All right, so we do have a couple people who were not here the last hour. Robinson, hello.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, teacher. Thank you.
Good. And where are you from?
I am from Colombia, teacher.
Colombia. Wonderful.
Colombia. Yeah.
Welcome. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Good, good. And Krishan, hello.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks. Thanks for asking.
Good. And where are you from?
I'm from India.
From India. I was wondering if you were from your name. I've known a few people named Krishan from India. Wonderful. Cool. It's nice to meet you, and very glad you're here.
Nice to meet you too.
Good. So this is part 2 of a 2-part class focused around the past perfect. And since we do have just a couple new people, I think we will do a quick overview again of the grammar, but rather than have me do the reading or the overview, I'm wondering if anyone would be willing to read some of the information from the English page for us.
Okay, I can do that.
Excellent, excellent. So we'll go there in just a second. Let me say hello to David. Hello.
Hi, Stephanie.
How are you today?
I'm doing very well. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you. And where are you from?
From Colombia, teacher.
From Colombia, wonderful. So Robinson and David both from Colombia. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you. Glad you're here.
Okay.
Good. All right. So we will start out on the EnglishPage.com. There's a link in the VerbLink chat. It's just kind of a useful place to review grammar. They do a good job of explaining the uses of the tense. I did the talking last time, so this time I think, was that Victor, you volunteered?
No, it was Ali.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't catch who was speaking.
I can read as well.
Okay, so maybe Ali will share the first use, and then Victor can share the second. There's really only the two.
Yes, you can, Victor. Go ahead.
We'll start with Ali. You volunteered first. So Ali, would you kind of, well, I will say the form is always the same. It's the auxiliary verb have conjugated in the past because it's past perfect. So it will always be had plus the past participle. So you had studied English before you moved to New York. Victor, will you read use 1 for us?
Okay, use 1. Completed action before something in the past. The past perfect expresses the idea that something occurred before another action in the past. It can also show that something happened before a specific time in the past. Examples. I had never seen such a beautiful beach before I went to Kauai.
Nice, very good. Thank you, Victor. And sorry, I mixed that up. I meant to call on Ali, and I said Victor instead. But thank you. Very nice reading. And so the X is the action in the past, and then the past perfect is represented by the dot and the yellow circle. All right, so use 2. Ali, will you do use 2 for us?
Okay. Use 2. Duration before something in the past. Non-continuous verbs. With non-continuous verbs and some non-continuous uses of mixed verbs, we use the past perfect to show that something started in the past and continued up until another action in the past. Examples: we had that car for 10 years before it broke down.
Nice, very good. And we will not go into non-continuous verbs or mixed verbs. That's not important to this lesson. But if you are interested, this website will be very helpful to you on that. But not important with our exercises today. I think that's enough review since most of you were here for the last lesson. I guess half of you only were here for the last lesson. But that's the 2 important things. So with that, let's go to the exercises. And I'll post them in the Verbling chat as well. You should have been able to access the exercises through the class description. But if not, here they are in the Verbling chat. And we did most of them in the last hour, or we did probably about an equal half in the last hour. So we are starting on page 6. And this is actually a bit of a mix. So we will be using the past perfect, the present perfect, and the simple past. So kind of throwing a mix at you. Feels a bit unfair since I didn't review present perfect or simple past, but I'm guessing you are probably familiar with both of those tenses. Only difference between the present perfect and the past perfect in terms of form is that the auxiliary verb is in the present tense for present perfect and the past tense for past perfect. So just to give an example, I will do the first one. We will complete the following sentences using the correct form of the verb provided and the correct tense, past perfect, present perfect, or simple past. My guess is that this will be the challenging part, the correct form and the correct tense. So let's see, with number 1, I was disappointed when I arrived at the party last night because most of my friends had already gone home. So I used the simple past with arrived. I arrived at the party last night. Must be the past, so simple past, arrived, because most of my friends had already gone home. And I used the past perfect because we're talking about something that happened in the past before another action in the past. Are there any questions on this at all?
No.
Okay. I realize I'm not sharing the worksheet. I'm sorry. I'm going to screen share that. All right. So there. Now you should be able to see the worksheet. I apologize. I'll read it just one more time. I was disappointed when I arrived at the party last night.
We can't see right now.
You can't? Okay.
You changed again, I think.
I think something's going on with my screen share then. Okay.
No.
You can see now. Okay.
Yeah.
Strange. Okay, I'm sorry. When I went back, it wasn't showing, so very strange. Okay. I was disappointed when I arrived at the party last night because most of my friends had already gone home. All right, so number 2, and let's start. I'm going to go to my left. Victor, will you take the first one, please?
Okay. I have never been to France, but I would love to go.
Great. And what tense did you use there?
Present perfect, I think.
Yep, you did. Very good, and that's correct. Good. Number 3, Oscar.
Okay. I invited some friends to come for dinner last night, but they couldn't come because they had already made other plans.
Perfect. Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent. And Krishan, number 4.
It is still snowing. It had started to snow last night, and it it's not stopped yet.
Good, good.
I
So
think
with
I have mistaken somewhere.
yeah, so use the simple past for the first one, and then
Okay.
since it's still snowing into the present, you'll use the present perfect for the second.
Yes, it should be past perfect.
All right. Do you want to go again?
Yeah,
All right.
it is still snowing. It started to snow last night, and it had been not stopped yet.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll use the present perfect for this one. It hasn't stopped yet,
वो क्या
only
बड़बड़ा रही तू?
because of this still snowing is telling us that in the present right now the snow is still happening, so we'll use the present perfect here. Nice work on that. Neither of those tenses are the focus of tonight's lesson, so really, really great work there. Thank you very much. David, number 5.
Okay. I went to a concert last night. I enjoyed it so much because I haven't gone to a concert for several years.
Yeah, yep, great, yep. Perfect, yep, so simple past, and then simple past again, and then present perfect.
Present perfect.
Yeah,
Right.
good. Nice. And number 6, Ali.
Okay. I got home quite late last night. My children had already fallen asleep.
Good, nice work. Simple past for the first one, it's over and done with, simple past. And then something before that simple past uses the past perfect. Great. Number 7, back to Victor.
I know the new neighbors. I had met them last week.
Good.
Can we say just I met them last week?
Yeah. In fact, I think simple past would be more correct there. You would say had met if it was before, if you said like, I met the new neighbors on Tuesday, I hadn't met them before, then it would be past perfect. But yeah, I think simple past is more appropriate here, since there's no specific action in the past. Good. Really good. Number 8, Oscar.
Okay. Last night I spent the evening with my friends. I wanted to go bowling because I had never I never gone bowling before.
Great, great, very nice, good. Good, so the past perfect was here, had never gone bowling, and then simple past with that first verb. Great, good. Number 9, Moises, hello, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking.
Good, good. So number 9 goes to you.
Linda is still sick. She had a bad cold for over a week.
Good, and this is a tricky one, especially since we're supposed to be doing past perfect, but this exercise mixes in present perfect. Whenever you see this time adverb still, it basically means now. Something that started in the past but is still happening now. So when you see that, you'll want to use the present perfect afterwards.
She had had.
Has had. Yep, has had. Great.
Had a bad cold for a week.
Very good, very good. Excellent. And number 10, Krishan.
Yes, Bob wants to buy a new car. He had owned this one for 10 years.
Very nice. Yep. Yep. I'm sorry. Did you say had owned or has owned? It's hard to hear on that one.
Oh yes, there should be has one.
Yep, has owned, because he still owns it, right? He only wants to buy a new car. He hasn't bought one yet. Great,
Yes.
great. If it said Bob bought a new car, he had owned his old one for 10 years. Good. So present perfect on that one. And David, our next one, number 11.
Okay, teacher. Vicky, wasn't.
This is a really tricky one.
Sorry, I am thinking.
That's a tough one. Take your time.
Didn't know.
I'm going to give you a hint. This is going to be the simple past, but we use we use did for the. We'll insert a did.
We used it. Vicky didn't get to class on time yesterday.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, Vicky didn't get to class on time yesterday. By the time she arrived, the class had already started.
Perfect. Very nice. That was a really tricky one.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Great job. And Ali, number 12.
Okay. We have studied 6 new verb tenses so far, and we are going to learn several more this semester.
Oh gosh, very nice. That sounds like a tough class. Who's ever in that class? Very good though. Good conjugation. Both correct. Or just the one, but very good. Victor, number 13.
I missed a meeting yesterday. It had just finished when I got there.
Perfect. Yep, great. That was nice. They gave you the simple past there, so past perfect for the rest of it. Good. And 14, let's see, which way were we working? Oscar's turn.
Okay, John quitted smoking a long time. He had not had a cigarette in over 5 years.
Good. All right. Good. With quit, quit is irregular, and it's one of those irregular verbs that stays the same in all of its forms. So, present is the same as simple past, is the same as the past participle. So John quit smoking a long time ago, and then since we assume he's still not smoking, we'll use the present perfect here. So do you want to try the second part with our present perfect?
He haven't a cigarette in over 5 years.
Yeah, he has not had.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So the auxiliary, it will be in the present tense, and then the past participle. Another really tricky one. Great. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that exercise kind of threw a lot of verb tenses at us. Good for the difference. And now we'll be looking at the difference between the past perfect and the past perfect progressive. Oh gosh, it looks like we'll be using the present perfect progressive tense. I apologize, this exercise was a bit misleading. I assumed that they would all be past perfect, but I guess it is best to study the tenses together so you can see the differences. So the difference between the past perfect and the past perfect progressive is that there's a continuous aspect. So much like the present continuous, it's talking about something that's ongoing. But in this case, it's in the past. And since it's perfect, it's in the past before another action in the past. So we have an ongoing action in the past that happens before another action in the past. So for example, when the boys came home, both had black eyes. They had been fighting. Here we have our action in the past. The boys came home. The boys had black eyes. And then we use the past perfect progressive or continuous to talk about what was happening before that event in the past. They had been fighting. So a little bit different structure. You're going to still use the auxiliary verb conjugated in the past along with the past participle, but you will also use the present participle. So it's kind of like a 3-verb construction. And they are only giving you 1 verb, so you will have to insert had been on your own, and those will stay the same. So you'll always use had been, just like in the present continuous, we use is or are. They are fighting, or they have been fighting. This will be the past perfect continuous had been fighting. Again, as always, please feel free to ask questions when it gets confusing.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So number 2 is going to go to Nasma. Welcome.
Hi. Mary's mouth was red. She has been eating strawberry ice cream. Had been eating strawberry ice cream.
Good. And if this was is, then we would have used the perfect, present perfect continuous. But great job. It's past, so past perfect continuous. Wonderful. Number 3, Moises.
When I woke up this morning, the sun was shining, but the ground was all wet. It had been it had been raining during the night.
Perfect. Excellent. Really good. Great. Number 4, Krishan.
The fireman finally put out the fire. It had been uh, just a minute. It had been fired. Oh, sorry. It had been burned. It had been burning um, for several hours before they arrived.
Perfect. Really good. Great job.
Thank you, teacher, for helping me.
Yes, take your time. This is thinking is what you're supposed to do. So very good. Excellent. David, number 5.
Okay, Stefani. When I went to Carol's house yesterday, her hands were covered in mud. She has been looking forward.
This one is probably going to be, oh gosh. Let's see. It's probably going to be this verb.
Yes. She has been working in the garden for a few hours before I got there.
Good. And it's going to be had been working. Because if this is in the past tense, then you'll use the past perfect continuous.
Okay.
Good. So had been working in the garden. Very nice. And number 6, Ali's turn.
Okay. Michael bought a new computer last week because his old one has been I can't see appropriate word.
Sorry. This is a phrasal verb. That's probably why it's tricky.
Looking forward.
It's gonna be give. His old one had been giving him trouble. That's actually kind of an idiomatic phrasal verb to give. Yeah, to give trouble.
I've been giving him trouble for quite some time.
Nice, very nice, good one. That was a really tough one. Phrasal, an idiomatic, not just a phrasal verb, but an idiomatic phrasal verb there. So a tough one. Great job. All right, Victor, number 7.
Mr. Jones finally had to close his business. It had been losing money for several years.
Yep, great. Poor Mr. Jones. Good. Number 8, Oscar.
Okay. The police had been looking for the thief for 6 months before they finally caught him.
Great, very good.
Okay.
Good. And then the GH in that one are silent, totally silent in that one.
Oh, okay.
Good. And Nasma, number 9.
It is too bad that Kathy had to cancel her trip last week. She had been planning.
Mm-hmm. And then
she had been planning it for such a long time.
Good. And that one could be planning or looking forward to. Both would fit. Both make sense. So I don't know which one is the writers of this exercise wanted there, but both make sense. So, good. Number 10, Moises.
Larry had been waiting on the corner for Patty for over an hour before she finally arrived.
Great, yep, had been waiting. Excellent. And number 11 to David.
Sure, Stefan. When I went home last night, I could smell cigarettes in the house. Somebody has been smoking before I got home.
Good, good. And then you will want the past perfect continuous. So had been smoking.
Sorry, had been smoking. Okay.
Great, great, excellent. And Ali, number 12.
Okay. Bob had been dating Mary for over 2 years before she finally broke up with me.
Excellent, very good. Poor Bob. How sad. Nice. And Victor, number 13.
Masha was very disappointed when we had to cancel our lunch date. She had been planning it for a long time.
Good, good, good. Yep. And again, planning and looking forward to both fit in that one. So, good, great.
Or waiting, right?
Yeah, waiting for it would have kind of the same meaning as looking forward to it. Yep. Good. And Oscar, our last one for this exercise.
Okay, looks like it's a tricky one.
It does, it does. And we'll scroll up to the top too if you need to see the verbs again.
Okay.
This one is really tricky. In fact, I disagree with this one. I see what they want you to say. Oh,
No,
it must be
easy.
this.
Yeah,
It must be this one. Yeah.
It could, it could be. It had been. I had been sat in the waiting room for over an hour before the doctor finally arrived.
Good, but you want the continuous form of sit, so not sat, but
sitting.
Yep. I had been sitting. At first, I thought they wanted wait. I had been waiting in the waiting room, but most native speakers would never say those. It makes sense, but we wouldn't say waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Strange. Okay. But good, yeah, had been sitting.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, it sounds weird. It makes sense, but we wouldn't say it because it sounds weird with the waiting so close together.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Good. So it looks like our next exercise is also with the past perfect progressive. I didn't know there was so much past perfect progressive in this worksheet. I guess I should have looked farther ahead. But I hope that's okay with everyone. So we'll continue. This one, again, is with the past perfect progressive, so had been, and then the progressive participle. And we are using the time adverb before, which you probably saw in many of the other examples. So these will sound like this. Mrs. Anderson had been trying to get a taxi for over half an hour before she finally caught one. So very similar to our last exercise. Number 2, Nasma's turn.
Ben's eyes had been bothering him for over a year before he finally got glasses.
Excellent, excellent, very good. And number 3, Moises.
Marta had been living in her apartment for 6 months before she finally met her neighbors.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Perfect. Number 4, Krishan.
The patient uh, uh, the patient had been waiting in the emergency room for several hours before a doctor finally saw him.
Good, good, good. Excellent. Perfect. Number 5, David.
Okay. Ellie had been trying on shoes all morning before she finally bought a pair.
Good, good. Strange to spend so much time shoe shopping, but Ali, number 6.
Okay. Chris had been dating Sue for 3 years before he finally asked her to marry him.
Great. Good job. Number 7, we'll go back to Victor.
The doctor had been telling me to lose weight for years before I finally decided to go on a diet.
All right. Good health
Cool.
decisions there. Nice job. Oscar, number 8, please.
Okay. The fire alarm has been ringing for 5 minutes before he finally woke up and ran out of the apartment.
Good, good. But has been ringing is our present perfect continuous. So make it past perfect continuous.
Has ringing?
Had been ringing. Had been ringing.
Had been. Okay.
Yeah, good. That would be, if it was still ringing, we would say has been ringing.
Okay.
But since he woke up in the past, then we'll use the past perfect continuous.
Okay, I got it.
Wonderful. Very good. Nasma, number 9.
They had been driving for hours before they finally saw a service station.
Good, good. Great. Had been driving. Perfect. Number 10, Moises.
Andrea had been crying for hours before she finally told her parents the reason why she was so unhappy.
Good, good. And we will never know why she was so unhappy, but I'm happy with your perfect conjugation. Great job. Krishan, number 11.
The politician had been traveled across the country for months before he finally started to gain popularity.
Great, good job. Had been traveling. Excellent. Number 12, David.
We had been working for over 5 years before the boss finally told us to take a break.
Good. It's a long time to go without a break. Great. Good job. And 13, Ali.
Okay. The athlete had been training for many years before he made the Olympic team.
Good, good. A lot of practice. Wonderful. And our last one for this exercise, back to Victor one more time.
The author had been writing stories for years before he finally had a book published.
Good, good. Wonderful. Sounded really good, everyone. That's our past perfect continuous. And it looks like, again, the next exercise will be using the same. It is related to the past perfect. The only difference is that it's referring to an ongoing, something that's ongoing in the past versus something that started and finished in the past before a past action. So this exercise, you'll use the words provided with the past perfect progressive tense and the word because. So you will get two simple sentences, and you will combine them using the word because into a more complex sentence that has the past perfect progressive in it. So, for example, Richard was digging in the garden all afternoon. Richard took a nap before dinner. And what you are supposed to say is, Richard took a nap before dinner because he had been digging in the garden all afternoon. So we're kind of explaining, there's an event in the past, and we're explaining why it happened by giving information from further in the past. A little bit tricky, but I think you'll be great.
Yeah.
And we start with Oscar.
Okay. I bought a new car because my old car gave me a lot of trouble for a long time.
Good. And this is the verb that you'll want to put in the past perfect progressive. So had been.
Giving me.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and read the whole thing one more time.
Okay. I bought a new car because my old car had been giving me a lot of trouble for a long time.
Perfect. Very nice. Thank you for going first. Great job.
Thank you.
So Nasma, number 2.
Billy had a bad headache last Sunday because he had been drinking a lot of beer last Saturday night.
Very good, very good. Poor Billy. He should know better by now. Perfect, great. And number 3, Moises.
She did very well on the test because Judy had been studying very hard all month for her history test.
Good, very good. Yep, she had been studying very well. Yep, she did very well on the test because she had been studying all month.
Probably we should put first Judy. Judy did very well on the test because she had been
Yes, that would.
very hard all month for her history test.
Yeah, I agree. We would usually say the proper noun first and then replace it with a pronoun. So good job fixing that up. Good. Krishan, your turn. Number 4, excuse me.
Annie practiced the poem for week. Annie could recite the poem by heart.
Good.
I'll have to explain or something else.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I'll have to explain something or that's it.
Say it one more time.
I'm asking you. I read this sentence. Now I will have to explain something or that's it.
That's good. Is just read it and put it in with the make it into one sentence with the because.
Okay. Sorry, because I had no idea.
It's a little confusing one, and we are putting the second sentence is actually going to go first in your answer.
Okay. Annie could recite the poem by heart because Annie participated the poem for weeks.
Good. And this is the verb you'd conjugate into the past perfect continuous. So had been practicing.
Okay, got it. So Annie has been practicing the poem for weeks.
Good. Perfect. Yep, nice job. So she could recite it by heart because she had been practicing for weeks. Good, very nice. And David, number 5.
Yes, it's funny. Faye wait for me for over an hour. Fai was angry at me when I arrived. Okay, could be Fai was angry at me when I arrived because Fai had been waiting for me for over an hour.
Yes, very good. Yep. She was angry because she had been waiting for over an hour, a long time. Nice job with that one.
Thank you.
And Ali, number 6, please.
Okay. Jonathan's hands were covered in grease because he had been working on his car all afternoon.
Good job. And nice work replacing that with the pronoun. That's what we would hear in spoken English. So great. And Victor, our last one here.
The team won the championship game because they had been practicing every day for weeks.
Good.
Can you
Very
say that?
Yes, that was perfect. So they won the championship game because they had been practicing. Really good. All right, so we do have one more. This is kind of an interview exercise. If we were in person, you would all be mingling together and asking each other. But with the online format, we have to change it a little bit. So let's see, how can we do this? Maybe let's do it this way. I'm going to turn these into a question. Oh, no, because that would be the present perfect. Let's see. These ones are always tough to put into the online class format, for me anyway. Does anyone maybe who's taken other classes and done these have an idea how we can adapt this for online? Otherwise, I could ask questions, and we'll just be using the present perfect then. Let's try it. We'll just try it with some questions, and they will probably be in the present perfect rather than the past perfect. But let's give it a try anyway. Number 1 doesn't really fit. Nobody just started today, so we'll go to number 2, and I will ask. That doesn't really work either since we're not in a classroom. But this one might work. So let me adapt this into a question, and I will ask, have any of you known the other students in this class for any length of time?
No, I have never known some of the students before.
Good. Excellent. Good answer. So we are using present perfect, but that's fine, I hope, with you all. Good. Great. Anyone else? Have any of you known any of your classmates or any of the other students in this class?
What do you mean by no?
In this case, have you seen them in other Verbling classes?
Yeah, I think I have seen most of the students in another classes before.
Good. Excellent. Good. That's one of the things I find very cool about Verbling is there's like a community that builds. It's very cool. Let's try another question. This one's going to be this won't even be a perfect. This will be a simple past. Did any of you wake up before your alarm clock this morning?
Not me, because it's my day off.
Nice, nice. Anyone else? Same with me. I did not have to set an alarm, so I woke up whenever I felt like it. It was nice. Anyone else?
We say I had woken up before my alarm clock rang. Right? This morning.
Good. Yeah, with this exercise, the tense is, they want it to be the past perfect, because you would first walk around and find people and then be talking about it afterwards. So then I would be able to say, oh, Nasma had woken up before her alarm this morning. But since we're more in the present tense, and we didn't do the exercise, or we didn't do the mingling and the finding people, so in our case it's going to be different, and we'll use the simple past. So did you wake up before your alarm? No, I woke up at 11. Confusing. Just trying to adapt it on the fly. This is the last exercise of the bunch, but we still have 2 more minutes. I like to make sure we get our full hour's worth. Let's see if we can do one more question. Let's see. Oh, this will be a good one. Again, the tense will be a little different. We'll probably be using the present perfect instead of the past perfect. But have any of you studied the past perfect tense before this class?
Yes, I have studied past perfect tense before this class.
Good, good, good. Perfect answer. Yes. Anyone else?
Yes.
Actually, I started past tense 3 months before, and I forgot it a little bit.
Oh, good. Good. So you can use, good job, you can use that past perfect in that one. Great. Very nice. I had studied it, but I forgot. Excellent job. Bonus points to you. And let's just do this last little one. Let's see. Have any of you met our teacher before this course began?
Yes, I had met you before this class.
Very good, Moises. Good, and good past perfect there. That's one where we can actually, another one where we can use the past perfect. Yep, I had met this teacher 5 classes ago. Excellent. Good. All right. Well, I'm going to stop there. That is the last of the exercises. I do apologize. There was much more past perfect continuous than I anticipated. Usually these worksheets are very structured around the one specific grammar form. But I hope you found it useful anyway. You all did nice work, quick thinking, and good conjugations all around. So thank you for your participation, and I hope to see you in classes in the future.
Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. See you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
See you later.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
Yes.